A lot of people get confused about what is survivorship. When you are diagnosed with cancer, you are considered a survivor from the day of diagnosis. What is normal for a cancer survivor? That's $1 million question. You know, before cancer, before you got that diagnosis, you went about your life, you did normal things, you went and picked up your kids, you went and drove your car. After cancer, it's a new normal.
I think that everybody has in their mind what a cancer patient looks like, and it's someone that maybe doesn't have hair, or they look really malnourished, or they just don't look very well, they look ashy. I mean, they just don't look well. I've been very fortunate to have kept my hair, and my friends tease me. They tease me about my hair, and just the fact that I have it, not that it's good, it's just that I have it. It's not too gray.
I'm jealous of his hair. Russ has got this great bushy hair, and then it's me right here. And so I think that's why we get along as well. I think that he's taller than I am. I'm a lot shorter, and I think he can look down on my bald head, and it makes him feel good every time that he looks at me, because it's like, you know, man, this guy's short and bald. I mean, and I'm tall and beautiful and lush hair. I mean, I'm like a Greek god, and then I got this friend for a chump, you know? It's kind of like Poncho and Lefty, right?
People always come up and say, "Oh my gosh, you look so good," which is really, it's nice to hear, but then sometimes you think, are they just kind of BSing me, or do I look kind of normal? But when I look at myself in the mirror, I see me. I don't see a cancer patient. I don't think of myself as being sick. And to the fact where some days, in fact, it happened to me earlier this week, you know, I take oral chemo every day, and there's been several times that I forgot to take it because I forget that I'm sick. I get up, I get my kids, you know, out of bed, and we eat breakfast, and I take them to school, and I start my day, and I'm running and doing all my stuff, and I go, oh shoot, I'm supposed to go take my medicine. There's plenty of days I go back home at 10:30 and take it, because I just forget. One thing I don't like doing is accepting it. I don't like to say I have cancer, because I feel like it's not supposed to be there. It's not me. And so I just kind of say I reject the fact I have cancer. Like, I don't have it. It's there, but it's going away. Thyroid cancer, 95% of the time, is incredibly curable, really easy. And in fact, if you do any research, everybody says it's the kind of cancer you want. It's easy. And so with me, leading up to it, I thought, well, it could be cancerous, but it's the good kind. Shouldn't be that big a deal. And it took a little while to register. So what happened? So the surgery took place, when I came to in the recovery room, you know, everybody's in there, and they said it's cancerous. You know, Banna told me it was cancerous, and even then, you know, I was in a different state. I didn't panic. I thought, that's the good kind, no big deal. You know, we'll do what we need to do, and not that, you know, it's just not that big a deal. And so really the blow kind of came a week or two later when we went to the endocrinologist and to determine the type, and after it came back from the pathology report, and it came back as a poorly differentiated, and they actually called it insular, which was something that the doctor here, I've never seen a case of insular, and it's very rare, but we need to get you to MD Anderson. So I didn't really at the time understand maybe the severity of it, that I was in that 5% category of a rare aggressive type. So, you know, I never had panic. I never really freaked out until the doctor kind of was a little taken back and thought, you know, this is not normal. We have to get you to go to MD Anderson. And then the enormity of it kind of sinks in. You go, oh, you know, this is more than we bargained for. And that's when the journey kind of began. And obviously it began before, but really the downward spiral for a little while, that's kind of where it kind of hit us in the face. And but in some ways that seems like yesterday, other ways it seems like it's 10 years ago.
The team that has been created for Russ has been created because of the love that people have for him.
When we first learned of Russ's diagnosis, the main thing Daniel and I wanted to do was just be supportive of the family, Banna and the kids, and just let them know that as scared as they were, you know, they had comfort knowing that they had the largest support group possible
The truth is Russ is like a brother to me, and I even feel that he is that way with my boys.
He's the best person I know. He is all around great in every way, every quality. He's a wonderful father, a wonderful husband. He is dedicated to his job. He works his rear off to support us. Even though sometimes he might not think we are so grateful, he does. We are. He is involved in the community. He is very athletic. I really don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't like him. Daniel wrote the first entry for Caring Bridge, and I think Russ and I were in Houston, or we had just come home from Houston. Daniel, who likes to make everything, he has to put some humor in it, which is good because that's the kind of people we are. So he started Caring Bridge. Just people were calling and texting, and which is wonderful because people want to know and they want to be invested in Russ. Caring Bridge is a great way to get your story out there. And I love it when people say, you know, I'm so sorry to ask you, but what's going on with Russ right now? I love it when people ask me. It means they care and they are invested.
For a lot of reasons. I mean, he's getting the attention, or he gets to be the chairperson because he's the sick guy right now. Obviously, he'd rather not be your chairperson. But I promise, and I talked to him about it, he agreed to do it because he thought maybe through these interviews or through his experience, he's going to meet somebody and he'll be able to give him a little courage.
But the other part is, it really is being an example to my kids to not give up and not say, this is terrible and it's the end of the world. I mean, just say, you know, it's part of it and we're going to deal with it and we're going to move forward. Mike Clark, he was really a positive force from day one, saying, hey, he just told me very early on, he said, listen, you're going to be the exceptional patient. You're going to beat it. And it's one thing when your friends and your family say, hey, you got this, you're going to beat it, but it's all hope, and it's based on a wish and a hope. And when it came from a doctor who had, these doctors see miracles all the time, and I think they know the makeup of the people they're dealing with, and says, listen, you got it, you're the miracle, you're the exceptional patient.
My very first question to Russ, as he was getting ready to get on the treadmill, was, why did you come to see us? And he said, my father started having cancer at age 45, and so I thought I ought to get checked. And before he even got started on the treadmill is when I saw what turned out to be his thyroid cancer.
He came over to our house, and we sent the boys away, and all of them, and all the kids, and we just were sitting on the back porch, and he told us that, explained to us what it was, and I was bawling, and he got really upset, but Colby and Vanna were real positive about it. Colby just said, I think you're gonna come out on top, and you're gonna beat it, and you're gonna have a story, and you're gonna help people. That's what I believe.
Russ and I hit it off right from the start. The things that you've probably already noticed, he's open, honest, kind of funny, smart. He's got a lot of good qualities that make him very likable. I tell him he's got good social shtick, but he does, and is likable, but frankly, I got a lot of likable people. But one of the things that stood out the most, and I have to give him credit for all of this, was that I asked for a follow-up. I give them my email, and they may or may not do that. They may just assume that the doctor I've referred them to is going to give that information back. Sometimes I hear back years later. Russ was always right on top of it.
Russ, through the process, continued to tell me, about Dr. Clark. I would be with Russ. His phone would ring. It's Dr. Clark. Hello, Dr. Clark. Hello. So I don't know if the guy's name, his first name is Clark or his last name is Clark. I kind of equate Dr. Clark to Superman now, kind of Clark Kentish or something. I mean, the guy he's everywhere. He's all over.
I'm the foreman. I'm sort of the project manager. I talk a lot. I tell people what to do. I was questioning whether I was doing any good. The question to God was, are there miracles or not? And if so, I want to see one. Then nothing. Didn't get any inkling, any feelings, no nothing. Enter Russ, and so I was perplexed, even disturbed, that I felt so deeply about someone, frankly, I didn't even remember what he looked like. At that point, we had an email relationship. And so when I am disturbed and need to have a long, long talk with God, I go for a walk. And so I walked from the wharf in San Francisco almost to Sausalito and back. It's a long hike, but I did get some work done in that. And it came to me that Russ was the miracle, and that for me to ultimately, I have come to believe that God just kind of bonded us spiritually to make sure that I was stuck around to see it. I have come to believe subsequently miracles happen all over the place, but we miss them because we're not really vested in it, invested in seeing it.
It's just a miracle, and the fact that the medicine is working the way it is, I don't know that anybody could have written that in a book or in a medical, prognosis that this would happen, because I don't think in many patients who are taking that medicine, they're getting the results Russ is getting.
Russ has a special way of connecting with people.
Russ has changed everybody's life. I mean, he's a testament. He's a testament, and if you've been around him and you haven't changed, something's wrong with your soul. He's rare, and the cancer's rare, kind of coincidental. I mean, not coincidental. It's a plan, and the journey will be marked.
I feel like somehow can benefit other people at the Survivorship Center, and if there's a way for me to benefit other people going through the same thing I'm going through, then I'd love to be a part of that deal, not just short term. Obviously, I'm the honorary chairperson, but long term. I mean, years from now, being able to go in there and help people who are dealing with the situation, whether it be diet or mental attitude or books to read or exercises to do, all those things make up the whole of being a survivor.
I think the Survivorship Center has changed people's perspective about cancer because it gives them hope, a place to come. It's not, the doctor doesn't say, come back every week after they're done with treatment. They kind of let them go. But this is a place that they can come and enjoy, find support, find others that have gone through it, and then also get back to wellness.
When you are a cancer survivor and someone fighting cancer, only people who have cancer really understand. Even spouses and children and close friends don't quite understand everything you're experiencing, but another cancer patient does.
We here at the Survivorship Center are a team. We are here to help provide services as a whole for the patient. We focus on educating them. We focus on their health and wellness. We have educational talks. We've had cardiologists, we've had ophthalmologists, we've had acupuncturists, to just let them know what kind of services are out there for the patient.
I do think that the Survivor Center, for people who don't have the support group that I have, it's a tool they have to have. They have to have somewhere to go to talk to, someone to listen, have a massage therapist, work out, do something to say, I want to get better. And it is an incredible deal. I kind of feel like I have my own Survivor Center with all my posse, but but I can't imagine I'd be where I am right now without it. And I think that's the point of the center, is getting the word out that it is there, and how many resources they have to help everybody.
Our goal here at the Survivorship Center is to really help transition patients from treatment to wellness. We're here to focus on, your doctor's been telling you need to live healthier, you need to exercise, you need to get back to normal. Well, what is new? What's normal? So we really help build them back up to where they can enjoy life. The personal trainer can get them back to exercising, and we always want to focus on having fun, because they've gone through heck and back, and we just really want to build them back up as a whole.
I know it seems like I was saying Russ is the perfect person. He is not perfect. He makes me crazy. He is annoying. The way he eats his apples, I can hear it from across the house. If he is eating an apple, I want to knock him in the head. It's so loud and annoying. He is very funny. He has a wonderful personality. He's silly. He still messes with me like he did, teases me when we were first married.
Well, let's see. I have to think about it. What about her drives me nuts? Well, so I'll just say this. Most normal human beings, when they brush their teeth and they spit in the sink, they rinse it out. She wouldn't rinse it out. She leaves it in there dry. Like, rinse it out. How hard is it to put a little water or spit it out? I mean, she doesn't do it. So I just think, so we have 2 bathrooms in our sink. Mine's always pristine and clean. Hers, dry toothpaste. And I just think, how can you do that? There you go.